This is a Fox News alert out of the newsroom now. An additional 5 classified documents have been found at President Biden's Wilmington home by special counsel Richard Sauber. In a statement out just now, Sauber says he obtained these 5 pages Thursday and that they were immediately taken into Justice Department custody by officials who were on scene with him. Let's bring back Lucas Tomlinson. He joins us from the White House North Lawn. Lucas, what are you learning about the content, classification, anything about these documents?
Well, Jillian, I think it's notable. Recall the exchange that our own Peter Doocy had with President Biden himself when Doocy asked, like, where were these classified documents? Were they next to your Corvette? And the president admitted, yeah, they were by my Corvette, but the garage was locked. Well, now we're hearing that additional classified documents were found outside of that garage. So whatever justification the president had for keeping classified material in his home in Wilmington, outside of any kind of secure means, a SCIF, what have you, the fact that these documents were found outside the garage completely destroys the president's argument, saying that, oh, the classified material was kept locked next to my 1967 Corvette.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I got to make an admission to you guys. I was actually wrong. Okay, I was wrong. And I needed to make a correction. However, I didn't make the correction because I knew that it was a matter of time before I would actually be right, right? Because it was clearly obvious that this was going to happen. Because in one of my last videos about this, I had stated that there was a third set of documents found in Biden's home. And that was before this was reported. Okay, I had misread the article that I was reading where I got information from, and I thought that, okay, a second set of documents had been found in Biden's home along with the set of documents that was found at the Biden think tank. That, again, by the way, Biden think tank, that by definition is an oxymoron. But anyways, when I released the video and I said that, I didn't realize till after I released the video, I was like, oh snap, I'm wrong, right? There was not a third set of documents found yet. I got that mixed up, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna wait because I think that there's a third set of documents that are gonna be found, and lo and behold, 5 more classified documents have been found at Biden's Delaware home, according to White House lawyers. Do we have a fourth, guys? Right? Are we placing bets here on a fourth set of documents being found somewhere that Biden hangs out at a lot? Okay, and apparently this set of documents were found not in his garage. Okay, so I think they were in like an adjacent room next to the garage or something like that. I'm sure they were not very secure and taken care of and handled carefully like Sleepy Joe claims that they were. I'm trying to tell you guys, we need to get that jailbird Biden or jailbird Joe trending. We need to get it trending. Jailbird Joe Biden. We got to get it trending because I think that is the direction that this is going in. The walls are closing in on old slow Joe. And I think we're about to have a President Kamala Harris. Right? We're about to have President Kamala Harris. Okay? The plan is being executed. The removal of Joe Biden and the installation, okay, of Kamala, I think, is happening because they have initiated, Democrats have investigated themselves, right? They've initiated a special counsel investigation into Joe Biden's handling of these documents. Again, this was started by Merrick Garland, who we know is overtly biased, okay? He is a political actor. But in this case, he appointed a Trump appointee to investigate Joe Biden, who happens to be Asian. Okay, so this guy is Asian and he's a Trump appointee, which tells me that this investigation is going to be extremely thorough and hopefully not biased. Okay, they might be actually coming for the throat. Okay, they actually might be coming for Joe Biden, which again signals President Kamala Harris, here we come. Which should be proof and inspiration for all women out there that you can, in fact, take a train all the way to the top. If you want to break the glass ceiling, just get on your knees, right? Just get on your knees. I'm just saying, this is probably how this is going to end up. That's what it seems like. But then again, they could investigate Joe, right? They could say, look, we investigated ourselves and we found nothing. That could very well happen as well. But in the meantime, we got to talk about the reactions from the mainstream liberal media leading up to this, because this is new. In which we have Miko Brzezinski from MSDNC basically saying that Republicans are too stupid to see the differences between the Trump situation, Mar-a-Lago, and the Joe Biden situation, in which he has documents spread all over the place. Take a look.
Classified documents in private hands is something Republicans downplayed constantly until the shoe was placed on the other foot. And unfortunately for them, the Trump shoe that dropped was much bigger and entirely different in the key issue of willful intent to obstruct. That's what it's going to come down to. Many Republicans just aren't smart enough to figure that out, and they can't figure out that this week's developments actually make it more likely the DOJ moves on Trump because of the political space it has been given.
Yeah, so that's one hell of a tape and some copium, right? What's happening with Biden is actually going to make it more likely that they take down Trump, because it's D for different, right? D for different. Joe Biden didn't break the law by taking the documents because he willfully turned himself in, right? Again, that's just like saying if you murder somebody or if you steal something from somebody, oh, well, they're not going to charge you. They're not going to go after you because you turned yourself in. You willingly turned yourself in. Amazing logic. I'm just saying, if you're saying that Trump broke the law, which in my opinion, I think is debatable because he is president. I do think he has declassification authority that is much broader than the declassification authority that Joe Biden would have as VP. If you're saying that Trump broke the law, then Biden definitely broke the law, and he should go to jail, right? If you think Trump should go to jail, then Biden should definitely go to jail. What's probably going to end up happening is both of them are not going to go to jail. They're both going to get out of this. And one of the main reasons that Trump is going to get away with it is because this happened to Biden. And they don't really want to send Biden to jail. But maybe they do. Again, maybe they might say, we're going to get rid of Biden just to get rid of Trump, and we'll just roll with Kamala. I'm just saying, it's possible. But we still have to get some answers here from the White House, even though it seems like it's impossible with the affirmative action press secretary at the helm. As even, again, the mainstream liberal media here, they're all kind of turning into Peter Doocy, right? As they're now pressing the White House to answer tough questions about these documents. And it doesn't seem like Karine Jean-Pierre actually wants to give real answers to any questions, even when they don't come from Peter Doocy. Take a look.
That suggestion I just disagree with. Go ahead, Kristen.
Karine, thank you so much. Does the White House and does the president agree to fully cooperate with the special counsel investigation?
We have said that we are going to continue to fully cooperate. We have been. The president's lawyers and team has been fully cooperating with the Department of Justice, and they're certainly going to do that with the special counsel.
And so, by that reasoning, would the president agree to sit for an on-the-record, in-person interview?
I'm not going to get into specifics or get ahead of what's going to happen. I'm not going to get into hypotheticals because that is a hypothetical. What I will say is we have addressed this multiple times at length, and we are going to continue. The president's team is going to continue to fully cooperate with the Department of Justice, and we respect that process, and that's what we're going to do.
The president has said he hopes to speak about this soon. When can people expect to hear from him?
Don't have, again, that is something that I can't. I don't have a magic wand here. I don't know when that's going to happen. What I can say is his team is going to fully cooperate with the Department of Justice. Let's not forget, the president said during the campaign that when it comes to the Department of Justice independence, he respects that. And that is something that he had said was incredibly important to make sure that they had their independence. That's why we say we're going to make sure that they have their independence, and that's why I'm saying that we're going to refer to Department of Justice.
And let me just ask you a big picture question here. Does the White House, broadly speaking, have an obligation to share not just with the National Archives, but with the American people when the existence of classified information is found in a private location?
Again, there's a process in this.
But just big picture, not necessarily in this instance, but is it the policy of the White House that they should share that information not just with the National Archives, but with the Americans?
So I'll say this, Kristen. We have been transparent in the last couple of days. Remember, there's an ongoing process, and we have spoken when it is appropriate. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, so that is Karine Jean-Pierre not answering questions from Christian Welker, who I believe works for NBC, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. But she also kind of walked out before Doocy could ask his question, right? So she didn't give Doocy a chance to ask a question. She just stormed out. I don't understand the point of having these press conferences anymore. Like, I really don't. Like, she literally does not answer any questions at all. And it's extremely frustrating because we need some answers. Like, Christian Welker actually asked her a good question about, okay, when is Biden going to sit down for an actual on-the-record interview to talk about these documents? He sat down and he talked all types of junk about how Trump was so reckless with him and how he handled the documents. Okay, when is Biden going to sit down and talk about how reckless he was? That's a good question. Corinne Jean-Pierre, well, we're cooperating, and I can't answer that question. I can't give you a timeline. I don't have a magic wand to tell you when he's going to do this and do that. And it's like, bro, okay, well, if you don't know, then get the hell out, right, and get somebody to the podium. Get the straight white male, Kirby, John Kirby, to the podium to answer the damn questions, okay? If you can't answer questions, you don't know the answers, get the straight white man out there, okay? I'm just saying. I'm tired of this. But Corinne Jean-Pierre is not the only Democrat propagandist that doesn't seem to want to answer questions from the media about this incident. You also have Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who went on Don Lemon's show and basically almost had a meltdown over Don Lemon and company asking him questions about this situation. Take a look.
So you said the president has fully cooperated, and there's no indication that he and the White House have not. But there is a real question about transparency and what the American people deserve.
The prosecutors will get to the bottom of this, and let's let them do it, for God's sakes. I know you all want to buzz around and all of that, but
let me buzz for a minute, okay? Let me buzz for 1 minute, and I promise we'll get on to something else.
Hold on, it's not just us buzzing around. You're the Democratic head of the Senate. This is a really important issue. It's not just buzzing around. This is we have, and if there were no special prosecutor, there would be, you might have a different thing to say, but there is. And now we have the law enforcement people who have the power to get all the facts out doing it. I support both. I think we should have a special prosecutor on each. I don't mind your asking these questions, but my view is I'm not going to say anything. Let the special prosecutors do their job.
The question I was going to ask is about the fact that when this did come out after CBS's News is reporting and the White House came out and acknowledged it, they only addressed the documents found on November 2nd. But they knew at the time about the documents found on December 20th. And that's what begs the question of full transparency. And it's not just us. The Washington Post editorial board, this morning says the same thing, that if the president and this White House answered more questions directly, like that exact timeline, that would, quote, promote trust and preempt this criticism. Would you like to see the White House do that today?
I leave everything up to the special prosecutors. Their obligation legally was to report things to the archives the minute they discovered them. Unlike Trump, they did.
Can we talk about what's happening on Capitol Hill as well?
Yeah. Ask Chuck Schumer anything besides questions about the biggest scandal that's going on in the country that happens to involve the President of the United States taking classified information from the White House while he was vice president. Amazing stuff. Crazy how Democrats never want to answer questions about their own scandals that they have going on, but they want to sit around and talk about scandals on the right and Trump all day long. It's absolutely amazing. So officially we have a third set of documents found. If I was a betting man, I would bet that a fourth set is probably going to be found soon. And I'm just want to see how many excuses is the mainstream media going to continue to make for Joe Biden and trying to say that, it's D for different because of such and such and such. He's cooperating. I'm just saying, man, Biden being this reckless indicates to me that he's a national security threat. Okay. I mean, that along with the whole Hunter Biden thing. Okay. I mean, this guy clearly is compromised. He's compromised. He's a national security threat, or he's a liability. Maybe threat's not the right word. Liability. And I'm just saying, wouldn't be surprised if this ends up with him being removed from office. But then again, I personally still don't think anything's actually really going to happen to him. It just seems like, the walls are closing in on him when it comes to this particular scandal right here. He's not getting a slap on the wrist. They're actually going after him, and it's kind of crazy to watch. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.